everybody, I'm Miss Kekee. I'm the 4-H educator here in Upton County.
I'm Hailey. I am the County Extension Coordinator and Ag Agent here in Upton County.
Today we will be teaching you all over salted oven roasted pecans.
So the reason we're doing this recipe this week is because it is National Agriculture Week. So we're using our pecans that we have done for our 4-H fundraiser because they are Georgia grown pecans.
When cooking for others, if you have long hair, you want to make sure that you put your long hair up in a bun or ponytail. Also, you should make sure you sanitize your hands and your station real well, and also wear gloves.
So today, the ingredients that we're using for this recipe is our 12 to 16 ounces worth of pecan halves. So this is 16 ounces because it's 1 pound. We're going to use some unsalted butter, some sea salt. We've got to use some of our measuring utensils, which we've got 1 teaspoon. We're going to have a cutting board, a knife, a baking sheet, and some parchment paper.
So first we're going to start off with our butter. We need 4 tablespoons of butter. I'm going to cut them up into 1 tablespoon. When I've cut the 1 tablespoon, then I'm going to slice it into 6 small pieces.
So while Ms. Kekee's doing that, I am going to measure out our parchment paper because we don't want this butter and our mixture to all stick to our cookie sheet.
This is my first tablespoon, and I'm going to cut it into 6 small pieces. I'm going to split it in half, and when I split it in half, I'm going to slice it again. Take a whole tablespoon. I split it in half. Once I split it in half, I take it apart, take the knife out, turn it the other way. Then I split it 2 more times to give me 6 slices. So now I have 6 slices. I have 1 more tablespoon to cut up after this one.
So remember, she did 4 total tablespoons, and each individual tablespoon she's going to cut into 6 different pieces.
All right, so now I have all of my tablespoons cut up.
So fun fact, 4 tablespoons equals 1/4 of a cup of butter. So 1 stick of butter is going to be half a cup, and then a half of a stick is going to be 1/4 of a cup. So now we've got our parchment paper on our cookie sheet, we've got our butter split up. So Ms. Kekee is going to open up our pecans, and we are going to put them in a thin layer all over our cookie sheet so they're not on top of each other.
Make sure you spread them out evenly, like Miss Hailey said. You do not want them to be all on top of each other.
If they are a little bit, that's okay, because we're going to stir them halfway through the process anyways, but we want to get them to spread out as much as possible. And so once they're completely spread out, we're going to start placing the butter on top. And I'm going to do a zoomed in so you can see what Ms. Kekee's doing.
Smaller pieces of butter that I have cut up, and I'm going to place them in different spots over the pecans. This way the butter will get evenly spread throughout the pecan.
And like I said, about halfway through, we're going to mix everything. So even if the butter isn't necessarily touching all the pecans, we will be able to mix it around so it'll hit all of them at least a little bit.
Okay, we got 6 more pieces. Put 1 here, 1 here, put 1 here. My glove is 1 to act up, 1 there, 1 here, and last but not least 1 there.
Perfect.
Now we're gonna do our salt. We're gonna do 4 teaspoons, 1 at a time.
So we are using sea salt, but you can use either sea salt or kosher salt because they're going to have those larger pieces. You wouldn't want to use just normal table salt because it's going to be a little bit too small.
See if I can pour better from my right.
And so because this sea salt's a little coarser, it's a little harder to get it out of that container. So.
Okay, I got one thing. I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna spread it around. Now, note now, I have to do this 3 more times. I did get a little bit on there, so I didn't fill it all the way. And one more time, we'll do it. Uh-oh. That's enough of that then. Okay.
Perfect.
So now we're gonna preheat our oven. We're gonna go to a temperature of 275.
So we're gonna wait for this to completely preheat before we put the pecans inside.
Yes, and with our oven has a beeper sound. It beeps when it's ready. Okay, so now I'm gonna put the pecans in the oven. It has preheated. I'm gonna set the timer for 10 minutes. And we will come back after it goes off. And then we will stir it and set it for 10 more minutes. 10-minute timer has just went off. So I'm gonna open it and I'm gonna stir around the pecans to make sure we get the butter mixture all over them. And the salt, make sure it's nice and get spread out real good all over them. I'm gonna try to move this out just a little bit more so y'all can see a little better.
You see how Miss Kekee is wearing an oven mitt. You want to make sure that you're very safe because this is going to be very hot.
And once I get through doing this, we're going to put them back in the oven and we're going to close the oven up for another 10 minutes. I think I got them all nicely tossed and they still flat. Make sure you try to spread them back out evenly. I'm going to close the oven and we're going to set the timer for another 10 minutes. And we will be back. Okay, so the timer has went off. So now I'm going to take them out and we're going to let them rest for a few minutes and then we'll taste them out. They look very delicious.
Ooh, and they smell wonderful.
They smell good. Yes, they do. We have oven roasted pecans. They look so good. Smell so good. Okay, now we're going to try them, see how good they are.
So they smelled wonderful. So we got them all cooled off. So we're just going to take one and try it. They're so good.
Very good. The butter is moved out evenly. The sea salt gives it a nice taste.
But it's just salty enough. It's not overpowering. So it's really good. So what we did is we used those fundraiser that we have every year, our 4-H pecans, and we just did a little butter, a little sea salt. It took about, what, maybe 30 minutes or so, and then it cooled. We had it cool for about 20 minutes. So then they're good to eat. So we hope y'all enjoyed.
Thank you.